Yes?
Go for it.
Where do you want me to stand? Welcome again. Welcome to Haha Storytime and our glorious leader, Sonic.
Wow, do we have a good show for you tonight? Whoa, all right. Welcome to Haha Storytime. Remember, everybody, you have to tip your bartenders. You have to say thank you to Radio Coffee and Beer.
Thank you, Radio Coffee and Beer.
And their glorious manager, Andrew Hilbert.
And Andrew Hilbert.
Okay. We have 5 very brave readers, some who've never done it before, some who are doing it for the very last time ever in Texas. So, without further ado, I'm actually going to ask Miguel. I asked Miguel to write some nice things about me because the show is about Sonic the Hedgehog. So, Miguel, do you want to start it off with something you wrote about me?
Yeah, this is...
Crash. This is Crash Bandicoot, everybody. Give it up for Crash Bandicoot.
So this is from a short story entitled Insults for Sonic. I'm just going to start with the first one. My nickname for him is Harry Plopper. That guy got it. All right. You want me to do another one?
Yeah, sure. Do one more.
I can't go out on that one. He looks like he's built like a cartoon character,
which I literally am.
Yeah. And his other nickname is Pepperoni Musk. These are the jokes. These are the jokes.
All right.
All right.
So Crash Bandicoot here is going to introduce every single reader. So I want you to start from the top, if you can do that.
All right. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this, folks? Eric has been doing comedy in some capacity in the Austin area for 20 years. From public access TV to improv to sketch to stand-up to clapping back at his middle school students. He's a graduate of the University of Arkansas, the Hideout Theater's Heroes of Comedy program, and the Cold Town Sketch program. His greatest professional achievement to date is an Instagram like from filmmaker Jim Jarmusch on a Buster Keaton post. Welcome up, Eric.
Eric Garcia's up.
You're up, Eric.
Good evening. Is this on? Okay. All right. My great-grandfather had a vagina drawing in his wallet. When we die, we leave behind everything. Loved ones, possessions, and our past embarrassments, no matter how terribly drawn they are. I never knew my great-grandfather, but luckily, I come from a long line of notorious hoarders. Back in the day, you weren't a hoarder, though. You were just a guy who never threw anything away. He left behind so many documents, I know how much he paid on his payment plan for a 3x3 Winona wagon on November 5th, 1920. The total cost was $235, which adjusted for inflation is $3,952.51. I know that he had written down a Carmen y Lauda song that he wanted to remember sometime in the 40s, which I still haven't been able to locate, despite the Strachwitz Frontera collection at UCLA having what seems like every other song of theirs. And I knew he was actually born in 1899, according to census takers, who literally saw him, and not 1900, because he went down to the courthouse with 2 witnesses who swore to God that was his birthday. I started getting into genealogy in the early 2000s. I had always wanted to explore my roots since I was in elementary school. At that time, all the white kids always knew where they were from. Well, I'm Irish and German and British and Scottish and Danish and Welsh and sprinkle a few pretendians in there that claim Cherokee blood. I didn't know where I was from, so I would just say I was Mexican. But what kind of Mexican was the real question. So then I'd ask my grandma, where do we come from? And she would dismissingly reply, not even looking up from rolling tortillas, why do you want to know? They're all dead. To her, generational history didn't matter, but everybody was dead, and in a way, she had a point. Who are all these people that we come from? Now, in the 2020s, through the magic of Family Search, a project of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, for those of you of a certain age who remember those commercials, I can trace back about 12 generations to some guy who came to quote-unquote America in 1590 on the Oñate expedition. I even joined a Facebook group called the Descendants of the Oñate Expedition and realized it's sort of a Spanish supremacist group. They rant up and down about their Spanish New Mexican roots. We act like we're special, but when you go back that far, you literally have 16,384 great-grandparents. That's a lot of people that had to lay on top of each other to get you here. The group members are up in arms whenever they take down an Oñate statue or graffiti, murderer on it, which he kind of was. In El Paso, they still have a statue to Oñate, but they had to call it the Equestrian. What a crock. My 12th great-grandfather was Pedro Robledo, and he was famous for being the first guy who died on the Oñate expedition. He died and was buried somewhere near Radium Springs, which is real. It's not just the set of cars. They just buried him along the river, the Rio Grande, and moved on without him. Some accounts say he drowned, some say he died of a heart attack or heat exhaustion, or maybe even a snake bite. Hell, they didn't even know back then. They just kept on conquesting. Even in the 1920s, they didn't know much. My great-grandmother, the wife of the little naked vagina artist, died in 1933. Her death certificate reads, "It was blood poisoning, I'm sure of it." And it wasn't even a doctor or coroner or anything. It was the Justice of the Peace, J.A. Matthews, who was already in his mid to late 70s and himself claimed in that same document that no doctor attended her. I mean, that's the most West Texan thing I've ever heard. I'm sure of it. Whenever someone says I'm sure of it, it probably means they're not sure of it. Whenever somebody tells me about the good old days, I always mention all the terrible stories like these. It's kind of my thing. Everyone says, oh, back then it was so amazing. I would love to live back then. And I'm like, my great-grandmother died at the age of 29 of blood poisoning. I'm sure of it. But I also found out that her father was killed by Pancho Villa's men in 1913. Everyone loves Pancho Villa. Pancho Villa restaurant, Pancho Villa salsa, Pancho Villa t-shirts, Pancho Villa posters. And Pancho Villa was the first to have a brand influencer deal. Did you know that he signed a contract to the Mutual Film Company to film his entire war for $20,000, $666,040 adjusted for inflation, plus 20% of the profits? The reason you've never seen any of this footage was that most of it was unusable because the air was too dusty and the rebels moved around too much. He settled for parading up and down the street in his braided general's uniform, riding his horse. But even that failed because he moved too fast for the hand-crank cameras that only shot 16 to 18 frames per second, depending on the cranker. Unfortunately, my great-great-grandfather's death was not captured on film. Wouldn't that be great, though, to have nitrate film proof of that historical event? Instead, all we have is a tiny article in the El Paso Herald-Post that lists that government officials were killed. No names given. He was just a simple county registrar that chose to take up arms against the rebels and lost. Had he won, though, we would all be talking about him. I'm sure of it. Of course, I've always been seen as some sort of liar by my family with my family history discoveries. My grandma's sister, Maria Luisa, or Mary Lou, as I would mockingly call her, was by far the least favorite of the sisters, was particularly a harsh critic of mine. When I would tell her some new information I had found, she would simply say, oh, it was probably someone with the same name, or oh, they probably put the wrong information in the document. She was so uncouth that at my grandmother's own funeral, she had the audacity to call me fat out loud. I was standing with my wife and she blurted out to her, he's too fat, right in the middle of church. The funny thing about that is that she actually died 6 months later. If I ever come across a time machine, which according to the John Titor forum post of the early 2000s for you conspiracy theorists, should be invented sometime in the next 10 years. I'm gonna take myself back to that funeral on March 11, 2008, and when she blurts out, he's too fat, in front of the entire church, I'm calmly going to tell her, well, you've got 6 months to live. I'm sure of it. All of these ancestors died suddenly and had no time to clean up anything they didn't want meddling kids from getting into. but my great-grandfather had time to destroy that embarrassing drawing that is still talked about today, mostly by me because my immediate family did not find it amusing when I told them. By using the scientific method, I was able to date the drawing. First, I had the drawing, a little brown cigarette rolling paper with a mildly obscene and anatomically incorrect drawing of a nude female figure. I then asked myself, when was this drawing made? I examined evidence found in the same wallet, in this case, the Count Carmen y Lauda song. Carmen y Lauda were early Tejano singers from Alice, Texas, and were wildly popular in the Southwest in the mid-1940s. With this information, we can conclude that this drawing was created a whole 30 years before my great-grandfather died. Some of you are probably thinking about what embarrassing things you have in your possession in case you die suddenly or in 30 years. I'm not saying you shouldn't carry a drawing of a vagina in your wallet, but if you do, get rid of it soon. I'm also not saying I'm carrying my great-grandfather's drawing with me in my wallet right now, but after the show, you're going to ask me to see it. I'm sure of it.
Give it up for Eric Garcia, who most definitely has that drawing in his wallet. Next up is the winner of the last Ha Ha Storytime.
I got it.
Oh, and Crash Bandicoot, if he can.
Meg Jarrett is a writer, poet, and teaching artist from Memphis, Tennessee. She earned her MFA from Columbia College Chicago in 2023. She has been published in Adelaide Literary Magazine, Allium, a journal of poetry and prose, Unwoven, Literary and Arts Magazine, the Hoxie Gorge Review, and elsewhere. She is the founder and host of the Smushed Blueberries, Stories, Poems, and Other Juice, an in-person monthly reading series and open mic in Austin. Give it up for Meg Jarrett, please.
It's important to me that everyone sees this. I don't know if it's right. No, it's upside down. It's incredible. Thank you. So, it's really great to be back. I really am such a fan of the community that's happening here at Radio South. This is called Heart Hologram. I watch a lot of spiritual YouTube, channelers and past life regressions, NDEs, OBEs. Those are near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences. And I've heard all these accounts of people just waking up to everything that is. And according to them, it's super wonderful. It's just one big glowing heart that's contracting and expanding. But I also started to fear obsess about these wild moments in which it seems like this could just happen anywhere. Like, what if while diving into Barton Springs at night, or suddenly the dog starts talking to me, or everything just breaks while the Matrix is actually playing? Once I thought it was maybe actually happening while having dinner at an Indian restaurant. There were these two paintings of these Hindu deities and lots of beautiful animals, and in between these two paintings sat a couple, presumably a man and a woman, who may or may not have been strangers, friends, or dating. It was absolutely impossible to tell. And they then began discussing cold food as a subject unrelated to what they had ordered. Cold pizza is great, he says. Yesterday, I put a double chip cookie into hummus, she chimes in, just to see. Traditional, not garlic. Curious side, he comments. She waits. I'm trying to think of weird things I've done and why did I do that? I put hot sauce on a salad once. I would tell people just to make a scene hey, watch me eat this. He immediately tells her, you're a warrior. You can do whatever you want. When he leaves to use the restroom, this same woman pulls out a newspaper with a bit of Newsies flair. She flips through it, licking her thumb in between pages. Her foot is bobbing as she reads. Then she folds it and fans her face with it and lays it back on the table. There's something in here I wanted to show you, something about a hot dog. Let me see. Although my favorite thing is the Austin Chronicle, Mr. Smarty Pants. That's where I learn everything that's happening in the world. Did I mention that this was a true story? I looked up the column and learned that Curb Your Enthusiasm Cheryl Hines got hives after meeting Trump for the first time. And if you want to stay cool through the night, you should put your socks in the fridge and then take them out and wear them to bed. I kept asking my partner if he was hearing all the same things that I was hearing, and he didn't seem as impacted, which made me more scared. Meanwhile, the woman was using her telephone sales voice, and then her dinner partner met her successfully there, saying, "Please stay on the line. Your call is very important to us." That was really good. "Maybe I'm not even a person," he says. "Maybe I'm a hologram. You haven't seen me eat yet." She's laughing, and he leans back slightly. "There's projectors in here everywhere." I haven't seen either of them eat yet, and I'm trying to ground myself. She's asking, "Why does the saxophone sound so sexy?" Sounds to me like a baby crying in the distance, but she's tenacious. "I think it's the shape of it." "Oh, well, what about a tuba?" he asked. The waiter, a serious and deeply kind and highly dignified man who wears beautiful suits with matching pocket squares and matching coordinating shoes, leaves the check at their table. She brings something out from her purse. "Rocks, look at all those rocks you've got. Pebbles, fruity pebbles. Here, I'll leave him a rose quartz. I have 2 heart-shaped ones. I'm gonna write, 'You rock.'" They start doodling while they're waiting. "See, we are drawing. We got to draw today." "Oh, you're a small drawer. What do you want to do after this?" "Well, we could see a movie," she replies. "We could, but I don't want to sit too close. Otherwise, I'll get scared. I'll think that the movie is real." When the waiter returns, there is a pause as he registers what is on the check. She begins explaining the rock. "It's rose quartz. It's for you. It's for love of yourself. It's shaped like a heart." The waiter says nothing before taking the check and the crystal. When he leaves, the 2 of them are whispering, "Was it the heart? I think it was the heart." Thank you.
Give it up for Meg Jerry. All right, Crash Bandicoot, you had about 20 minutes to write some very good jokes about me.
I once heard a grandma say to him, "He's too fat." That's pretty good.
That's pretty funny.
Real quick, this was Crash Bandicoot's idea. This was Sonic's idea. Sonic, let's hear it by applause. Sonic. Never mind, don't worry about it. I don't want to do it. Fuck it.
You do have a soundboard with clapping and booing, don't you?
I do, yeah.
But let's just, while you figure out a phone, old man, you can just start reading the next competitor.
All right. Next competitor up is Holly Hardy. She is. I'd love to be able to get my sentence out. I have a sentence, please. Can I do it? Thank you. Holly Hardy is a poet, editor, and author of Lions Like Us and How to Take a Bullet and other survival poems. She teaches private writing workshops online, is the founder of Praxis Poetry, Weekly Prompts for Poets, and host of the long-running monthly reading series, Saturday Night Special. Her work has been nominated for a Pushcart Prize and published in numerous anthologies and literary journals, including Alchemy, Caesura, The Common, 14 Hills, Parley Lits, Poetry, Superhighway, Synchronicity, and elsewhere. And you can find her on Instagram at holly.hardy or at hollyhardy.com. Holly Hardy, welcome up. Now you can clap. You see how that works? You see how humanity works? How society works, people?
Can we talk about how cute I look with a mustache and a monobrow, you guys? This is amazing. That's my new author photo for sure. All right, I have 4 short pieces for y'all. Cherry finds her purpose. You let me know when it's time.
Sonic said I could do that. I apologize.
Cherry finds her purpose. Cherry polished her toenails glitter pink while her AI robot Brenda gave her husband his evening blowjob on the other side of the room. Brenda was a quick learner, and after only 2 small hand and mouth revisions, she was better at it than Cherry, faster and more efficient. So it just made sense to let her do it. Brenda had perfect breasts and was a prolific multitasker. She could perform fellatio, monitor news and social media, teach the dog to hide his face in Russian and Chinese, and concurrently handle incoming calls and texts from Cherry's mother. Sometimes Cherry tried to remember what life was like before AI, but she had uploaded her memories to the cloud, and now she couldn't remember how to access them. She didn't realize it now, but as a child, she had an exceptional memory. She could spell words like petrichor, poison, and poet. She could recite The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe and could remember names and recognize faces. Ever since her husband uploaded his visual memories to the cloud by accident, he couldn't tell the difference between his wife and Brenda. Cherry wasn't sure if this was good or bad or even true, but it made it easy to outsource any wifely duties she did not enjoy. What Cherry enjoyed was painting her nails and watching Love is Blind on Netflix. Even though Brenda was better at mani-pedis, and nowadays, the blind love chats were performed by AI surrogates. As her husband let out a soft O of completion across the room, Cherry wondered if humans were really necessary, now that AI was doing all of the human things. The work, the play, the creation of art and entertainment, the thinking and learning, making and storing of memories, the sex, and maybe the blind love. Brenda waited expectantly for Cherry to give her a new task. And in this way, Cherry decided that humans were, in fact, still essential after all. Without us, she reasoned, who would give the robots purpose? She lightly kissed her sleeping husband on the forehead and followed Brenda into the kitchen to watch her make the tea. Chili Pepper, a play. It is springtime. You awake from a dream about being fired from a job you never had. It's an enhanced firing, like an enhanced interrogation, but with fewer questions and more dressing down in front of an audience. Also, it's a play. The play is performed unrehearsed and partially undressed in a cluttered room and employs a stuffed chili pepper as a prop. Not the food, but a large stuffed animal. Not an animal, though, vegetable, but also a toy. Its purpose is unclear, but also vulgar and completely decorative, like a hot dog. No one is paying attention during the play. It is springtime. There are more acts to the story because it is a dream and there is thrifting, even though you hate thrifting when you are awake and never do it. In the dream, you are thrifting, but only collecting black tank tops in preparation for the epic firing scene. Because the play is about not working, and maybe also moving, and the chili pepper. There's a motorcycle in the dream. After the play, you kickstart the engine, and it roars to life. It is springtime. Capitalism. Or the guy who ate a $120,000 banana in an art museum says he was just hungry. But I think he was a skeptic. I mean, art critic. I mean, it was a banana duct taped to a wall. He did it for 15 minutes of fame, like Andy Warhol, like an Instagram influencer, like the self-shredding Banksy creation as inflation by destruction. We have learned a banana is worth more than a poem, even an empty banana peel. I wonder how much more the world will be worth once we finish destroying it. All right, I have one more, and this is the foreign language poem. You have maybe received a copy of it. There's a glossary on the back in case you are, if you want to follow along with any of the words you're not familiar with. Gen X claps back, or a day in the life of Gen Z, as seen by Gen X. TFW, that feeling when. You think of yourself as the main character, but you're no CEO. You're Heather. You're snatched. You swirl woke organic oat milk and fair trade raw sugar cane into the dank, light roast, sustainably sourced Chamberlain coffee you purchased online from a bougie fashion influencer called Emma with 15.2 million followers and more cleavage than boobs. During your morning remote work Zoom meeting where you're multitasking, bed rotting with your camera off, low-key quiet quitting, acting your wage, no cap, finna rage apply for alternate career cushioning lazy girl jobs. Cause this ain't it, chief. You want guap so you can shop. Glow up, sis. Yazify. You've got an unserious beige flag textationship zaddy and an next on deck sneaky link e-boy snack to stand. It's not kitten fishing, it's facts. No printer, no cap. Your high-key, extra choogey, cringe coworker Kelly is flexing, throwing shade, is giving you the ick. You know you ate and left no crumbs. She better take several seats or she's finna catch these hands. This basic bitch Delulu, she drags you again. Clapping back is your Roman Empire. You understood the assignment. Revenge is living rent-free, period. Your stressy, depressy work meeting at this mid-online startup app where you oversee Bechtel testing for film reviews on TikTok and post about it on IG is giving you a full mentee B. It's giving the Midnight Club. It's giving lobotomy. You need a grippy sock vacation. You need a hot girl walk to touch grass, a mid-morning pink noise sound bath to bathe you in bells, and reset your chakras for wall Pilates. This day is sus. This day is canceled. You finna dip. You sip tea on IG, take a Zan beauty nap, and wake up a whole meal. DTF. Riz rejuvenated, lit to slay. After your quick bussin' greed-flated girl dinner of grapes, goldfish crackers, salami, olives, peppercini, and cheddar cheese, it's time to do your big one. ASMR hits different. Soothes and whispers, slices soap, pretends to brush your hair as you lick snickerdoodle churro, birthday cake, cookie dough ice cream in your evening bath. It's giving caught in 4K energy. It's giving Gucci. If you know, you know, IYKYK. I have copies of my 2 books. If you're interested, come talk to me after the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was great. All right. So, yeah, authors who brought books, stick around. We also got to do a selfie with everyone on the stage at the end of the show after we crown our winner. But I do want to recognize my 2 bodyguards on stage. Sonic and Sonic, give it up for my 2 bodyguards. They're not allowed to speak, and don't look them in the eyes. Also, tip your bartenders. They're working really hard. Please tip them. They're the best crew in America. I'm going to guess the best crew in America. So can we get a round of applause for them?
Please clap.
Crash, do you got something mean for me to say to me?
I have. How much time do I have? All right. I'm going to do one because I feel like we're going to be here all night.
Because you ran out of material?
Temperament or fudgesicle? I don't know.
Temperament, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, they got it.
Cricket sound effect. It's on the playlist. So Ryan's bio is likely longer than his story. So I'm going to read it.
That's for me.
Ryan C. Bradley hates long walks on the beach and beaches in general. He gets sunburnt if his reading lamp has a bulb with over 100 lumens. But he sure does love reading and writing, especially horror. He's been playing guitar for 20 years and splits his time between teaching lessons, writing, long-distance running, and raising 2 gremlin children. His bio used to say 1 gremlin child, but now he has 2. Let's give him a round of applause for that. PP works. His books Say Uncle, Bad Connections, Saints Blood, and Dumb Bullshit for Brilliant Idiots, co-authored, are available now. You can listen to his voice on Horror Hangover, which he co-hosts with Cass Clark, as well as on his Patreon, Drop Dead Fiction. Please give it up for Ryan C. Bradley.
Thanks, y'all.
Ryan, how long ago did you get that perm?
Get that what?
Perm.
I'm just sweaty. It's summertime, bro.
Okay, sorry.
And how old are you, young man?
13.
All right.
All right, okay.
So I had a meeting with a financial planner today because of the new baby, and I immediately went home and wrote this. Picture me as a professional wrestler. You knew I was going to beat you, Big Bash. You saw the writing on the wall, so you signaled for Miss Sheridan to distract the referee, and then you punted me in the dick. I know it, you know it, the dozens of people at the show know it, and the half a dozen watching at home know it. So old Rip grabbed the steel chair. The arc of the universe bends towards justice, and I sped it along, bending that chair over your head. And you know what, Big Bash? You know what old Rip felt inside as the metal vibrated up his arms? You know what went through old Rip's mind as steel split your skull like an overripe watermelon? Well, I'll tell you. Old Rip felt nothing. That's right. A big void opened in my chest, like I was a piece of bread dissolving in a river before the ducks could eat me. Because old Rip's been chasing that title for 18 damn years. And there's been some wins here and there. Once in a while, the crowd chants my name. A few of them bought a t-shirt. One of these sickos even stopped me at the mall one day to ask for an autograph. And believe you me, old Rip was tickled pink. But when old Rip started his wrestling business, in this here wrestling business, he had big dreams. He was going to main event on the grandest stage of them all. He wasn't just going to be in the main event, he was going to win it. And not just once, they're going to call old Rip again and again. Please sell out the house. We need you, Ripper. Yet here I am, and there I go in the Elk Societies and the VFWs and the high school gyms. That first time you wrestle, you feel like a hero. Like the dream's coming true. It's so close, but when you try to grab it, it's like trying to hold on to a smell. And they ask you, old Rip, didn't you get into the wrestling business because you love it? But lately, when I throw a punch, when I body slam someone onto a bed of barbed wire, the thrill's missing. Old Rip put all of his eggs in this basket, and what's he supposed to do now that the eggs are broken? He's got yolks floating around. Old Rip is still getting paid in hot dogs and handshakes. You know what it's like, Big Bash, the butthole gridlock when you're 40 and you're living off hot dogs for lunch and dinner every weekend? Do you know how long the drive to Arkansas is when you're stopping every time you feel the need to squeeze a little bit out? Do you know the fear that the next body slam is going to knock that atomic shit bomb loose in the ring? I don't think you do. So if I hit you in the head and it doesn't spark joy, I'm not sure what I'm still doing here. At some point, you gotta admit the Fed's not gonna come calling. That you watched 100 wrestlers, half as good as you, get the call, and you got jack squat. That no matter how much sweat, blood, and tears old Rip slicks this industry with, it's not gonna slick him back. The only break that's coming is another in the old leg, maybe an arm next time. And you can probably imagine by now, Big Bash, even though you're greener than a punk rock dye job, that the hard part is getting up after you get knocked down when your heart's not in it anymore. It's one thing to get power bombed and go through a table when you're full of piss and vinaigrette, but it's a whole nother thing when you're ready to hang up the boots. You stop thinking about winning titles and you start thinking about exit plans. People don't walk out of the wrestling business. They get stretchered out, Big Bash, and I only half mean that as a threat. So keep your damn title belt. Old Rip's got some soul searching to do, and you better pray to the God you know that isn't there that he doesn't decide to come after you again, because nothing's more dangerous than a man with nothing to lose. Thank you.
Ryan C. Bradley. And I know he has books on the table. I see them right there.
All right.
You got some more insults for me?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right, this is the last one. You look like a balloon that's been blown up. The air was all let out, and then it was blown up again.
That does sound like my weight loss journey.
That's what I got.
Thank you.
For the last time, possibly last time, in Texas, Max Booth is the founder of Haha Storytime Minneapolis. We have Max Booth.
Hello. Do I sound okay through the mask? Yeah. I have to unlock my phone. All right. This is a poem I wrote a few months ago while manic in my ex-wife's guest room while researching DIY HLT. I might fuck around and reinvent the flesh, reinvest in billion bin earlobes and hand-me-down kneecaps. I'm yearning for the day that jaundiced witch's index probes thick organs under soft skin, upside down and downside up, inside out and outside in, tweeting to my 16 followers. They can't take me dead if I'm already alive. Blowout Sal in aisle 5. Big tits, wide hips, thick ass. Basket to the motherfucking brim. In case of emergency, break glass. We'll pass that, we'll done that, we've aced that, we've fucked that, we've nailed that, we've flunked that, we'll over it, we'll done. You can't break what's already shattered. You can't inflate a slashed tile. Not that it ever fucking mattered, but we've just been adding gasoline to the file. So shop till you drop and roll on over to the checkout stand. Unload your cart as each item scanned. Recite the spell. Memorize the rules, stretch your new flesh along the conveyor belt in exchange for every 10 assaults you've ever been dealt. Get rung up, get rung out, show the man your coupon book, wave a lit Molotov and tell him, look, I'm taking this shit home regardless of the price. You've heard of Dr. Frankenstein? Well, that motherfucker was nice. I'm more of the self-creation type. And tonight I'm writing my own narration, so believe the hype. Clap your feet like Dorothy in the parking lot. Stop that am I worthy shit and take your shot. Bootleg injection, comedian embracing imperfection like some tragedy and projection on a blank wall with a new scroll. Misdirect, guiding your misdirects and baptizing the insects in your defects. Capsizing emotions, flooding a doom life's tomb while mixing potions in your ex-wife's guest room and heating the void of a phantom womb. DIY Cronin building your own telepod, creature feature renouncing hell and God, not a guy but a brindlefly gone awry, fresh clit blossoming from a split dick trick tick of lip syncing, singing, long live the new flash! 5 eyes, 1 nose, the perfect mesh of a nipple for every girl's dimple and a ripple for every girl's pimple. Abnormalities evolving and formalities dissolving into a thick goop, a bona fide witch soup for a bonal fried Betty Boop. Yeah, I might fuck around and reinvent the flesh, recorrect everything I've missed. You want in on this? Goodbye, Texas.
All right, everybody. That is Max Booth's last time reading on this stage. Please give them a big round of applause, standing ovation. They are leaving for Minneapolis at the end of June. So give them a kiss. All right, you have one more mean thing to say to me, I believe.
Your breath makes me look forward to your farts.
That was the best one. But I hope you feel great about this because
It was fun. It was a hell of a time.
I was saying about it. At first I was calling Crash Bandicoot my assistant, but today I'm graduating him to co-host. And I wrote a little poem to commemorate that. It's called My Best Friend.
Fuck. This is a setup.
Many assume that Tails is my best friend. Nay, I say. We may have been born of the same Japanese parents employed by the Sega Corporation, but the truth is we are distant. His 2 tails are 2 tails too much for me. But Crash, his cigarette dangling from his snout, his unconnected mustache to beard, his sunglasses
Fuck
always...
That. It connects. Come up later and I'll show you.
His sunglasses always reflect me, and within him I see myself, a smiling person in his presence. He was there when I was down, and though he cannot fly, he's lifted me to heaven. I cherish his friendship. He may be washed up and irrelevant, thanks to Sony being too cheap to own his likeness. He may get passed around from developer to developer, making subpar games, but he is still my very best friend. Thank you, Crash Bandicoot. Kiss?
We did that already.
There's nothing stopping us.
All right.
Oh my God. Woo.
He pussied out.
I
didn't actually kiss me.
I did. Okay.
Because, no, let's tell the whole story. The last time we kissed, for 1 week, he thought he had hepatitis or some other. He texted me like 5 times, are you sure you don't have anything? I'm like, no, I am clean.
Okay, but I did have sores all over my mouth.
Yeah, that was not me. That was there before.
But the truth is, it could have been my makeup because this makeup makes my face melt.
Yeah, but why was your dick?
I get it off Temu. It's very cheap. Okay, let's have the competitors come back to the stage. Give it up for them one more time. We've got Meg, who won last time, Eric, Holly, Ryan, and Max.
Remember, this is Max's last time reading.
And we don't. Okay. Eric, who had the pocket picture. Give it up. Ryan C. Bradley talking about poo-poo. Give it up. Meg Jarrett, holistic YouTube videos. Holly Hardy, first-time competitor, AI fellatio. Oh, boy. And Max Booth, their last time reading on the stage ever. Okay. That's a tie between Max and Holly, so let's do one last time here.
All the losers get off.
No, you are winners in my heart. Crash, he's my best friend, but he has a mouth.
Go on, get.
A snout forever. Holly.
Oh.
Max. Max, I'm sorry. You leave a loser. Holly wins this round.
Just like you came.
Everybody give it up. Thank you for coming to HaHa Storytime. We do this second Tuesdays every month here at Radio South.
And some of these people are selling books.
And some of them are selling books, and also you need to tip your bartenders. One more song.
And tip Crash.
Look up Virgin Wheel on YouTube, the regular YouTube.
Oh, regular?
Yeah. All right, we're going to play one more song for you. One more song.
Yo, where the fuck is
If Crash can figure out his phone.
Don't do this to me.
It's right there, young man. Virgin, I'm just an eel. Oh, forget it. We're not going to play one more song. Okay, competitors, let's take a selfie and let's get the hell out of here.